All right, there it is. Welcome everyone to another episode of Our Parents' Basement. It is Thursday night, so thank you so much for joining us and hanging with the basement dwellers once again. We have a new show, and I'm excited to share a conversation with many listeners far and wide. And yeah, it's gonna be a good time as usual. I'm excited. I am Philip, and I'll be doing the hosting shtick for well, we usually kind of all talk at the same time, but I'll try to be moderating. We'll call it moderating tonight.
You've got to host because if I do it, I have to have somebody guide me. I I am a motor that needs a steering wheel. I am the wind in the sails, and I need a rudder.
I thought you were going to say wind beneath my wings.
Oh, you're the wind beneath my wings.
Yes. Well, speaking of which, we have the usual people with us tonight. We had the wind beneath his wings or whatever. Jason, but I call him Turf. And Turf, how's it going this evening?
Man, I am excellent. I am happy to be here. I'm ready to chop it up. I'm ready to yak. I'm ready to wax poetic. I'm ready to yammer and possibly, yeah, that's probably yammer.
Okay, yammering is good. That's what this podcast is all about. And we also have Charles, who is serenading us. Charles, how's it going this evening?
Doing all right.
That's great to see you as always.
We're ready for this fun discussion we're having tonight.
That was a pretty nice falsetto you had there.
That was good, yeah.
And by good, I mean, it was weird and uncomfortable.
Well, Charles is just a man full of surprises. I've come to learn. It's like you name that tune, and he'll start singing it. So
yeah, that happens sometimes, and sometimes I'll adjust some of the lyrics for the situation.
That's fine. That's fine. It's fun to do it.
Not that I ever met the situation. Not that I want to meet the situation, but.
Oh, that guy. Okay, it took me a while to think about. I was like, "What is this guy talking about? What's in his drink?"
You're not into the Jersey Shore. Come on.
No. Are you in the Jersey Shore, Charles?
No.
Are you in the Jersey Shore, Turf?
I can say that I never was into that show. Yeah. Like even when it was big, I wasn't even. I think most people watched it like they had to be hiding under a blanket in the closet, just peeking out of a corner because. No, they didn't want anybody else to know they were watching it, but for some reason it was huge.
Yeah, I watched like a marathon of it with some friends because we were all like kind of snowed in, so it was on MTV and they were running back to back, and we watched it, and it was just bad trash reality TV. It's MTV though. What do you expect?
Yeah, that's I don't know. I'm loosely aware of what happened. I have one of Angie's daughters was really like back this past summer, or maybe it might have been like a year ago or so. Anyways, she got to watching it like on it was on Hulu or something. She watched a whole bunch of it and it was on, and I'm like, why? This is 10 years old. Why are you watching this now? And why? But she got really into it, and I don't understand, and probably never will. I'm the old guy.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, we're not here to talk about Jersey Shore, because F those guys. But before we begin, you guys have been playing a little bit of Smash Brothers here and there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys know about how there's like the spirits you can collect, and
right.
They all have like it's basically every video game character of all time. You will not believe the spirit I found not too long ago. He's from Castlevania, and he goes by the name of
Reinhard Schneider. Reinhard Schneider. How? Why? You just need to let that one go, man. Why did Nintendo have to bring that back? Reinhard Schneider and his whip and his turtleneck is so cute.
Yeah. We should go to the raid now and look at what the wall used to be like.
I will whip the demons and I will dance to the techno. Oh man.
Yeah, I am blue, bada bee, dada bee.
God. Oh, that is never gonna get old. If we ever do make new T-shirts, OPB, Our Parents' Basement T-shirts, we gotta incorporate that guy on there somehow. And thing it was like I saw, because you're in spirit mode and you can choose, I'll fight this one, I'll fight that one. And I saw this character. It was like the 2D artwork of it. I was like, this guy looks cool. I saw he had a whip. I'm like, wait a minute, this guy looks like, oh, it is. Oh, look who it is. And I thought, I should definitely try to win this. So after I got that spirit, I had to tell you guys.
Does anybody know how many spirits there are in that thing? Has it been
is it
definitive yet?
A lot.
Endless. It seems endless.
How many spirits? I'm Googling right now.
Yeah.
Are in Smash. I don't want the list. Holy balls. 1297.
Oh, gee, that was way off.
That's a lot.
Man, if Nintendo
that's
had
a lot of
like
programming.
You what?
That's a lot of programming there.
No wonder they're not 3D models and trophies. They're just stickers.
Yeah, they are stickers. Yeah.
That's deep cuts, man. They had to get. How did they do that? How did they even, say we're going to make a list of, you give me 100 guys, but they can't have any crossover. Like, how do you even do that? Like, I get it. If you were going to do the history of Castlevania, Reinhard Schneider with Und Reinhard would come up. But
yeah,
I don't know, man.
That's a lot of franchising and well. But anyways, I had to share that because this is OPB, and whenever that name gets brought up, I laugh way too much. So, but that is not what the conversation tonight is about. The conversation is about something video game related, of course. This is Our Parents' Basement, and we love talking video games, and that's what we're going to do again tonight.
Oh, really?
Who brought this conversation idea up anyway?
This is
Chuck and me, yeah.
Charles, all right. Do you want to introduce it to us?
I was doing like, mobile, portable, handheld gaming and all that stuff, video game systems or gaming, whatever systems. So because, I just got the Switch and, it just kind of reignited a whole handheld thing, because the Switch is, you can do it at home, you can take it on the go. You can take it on, bring it on the couch, move it around anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of got me thinking, what else is there? I've been buying some more games lately.
Good. That makes me happy.
Getting a couple.
I'm a bad influence, so.
Yeah, I've been buying a couple. Bunch of Sega Game Gear stuff.
For those who are maybe new to OPB, Charles is on a quest for every Game Gear game in America or made.
Worldwide,
and he is collecting these little cartridges like a beast. So, that's impressive.
I just got a bunch the other days.
So tonight's conversation is about gaming, basically gaming on the go. Not necessarily like a portable console, but just anywhere you can get your fix when you're not at home. Is that right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, this is interesting because maybe about 2 or 3 episodes ago, I mentioned I downloaded my first bit of Google Play games. I downloaded Final Fantasy V for my phone, and I never played a game on my phone before. Like, I never even played like a little Tetris or Candy Crush type of thing. This is my first time playing a full-on game on my phone, and I finished it not too long ago, and it was a blast. I loved it. So I have a little bit more admiration for gaming on your droids or your iPhones or tablets, because I could see why that works, why it's a good business model.
There can be, like you said, your Final Fantasy V. I think those work really well on phones or work on mobile devices, I guess. But then, like the other day, I downloaded because it was free. Streets of Rage 2.
Oh, no, that was an option. Okay.
Well, okay. I'm like, well, I'll just go ahead and download that in case I ever want to play it. Touchscreen controls don't translate to button presses. They just don't.
Yeah.
If you're like Final Fantasy or something like that and you're digging through menus, cool. It works. Press A to attack. That works. It didn't require a whole lot of reflex and action. When you put the action into it and you're trying to, do throws and jump kicks and things like that, it's horrible. I played it for about 3 minutes since this sucks and turned it off.
Was it
and
free?
Deleted it off my phone. So
was it free at least?
It was free. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't pay any money for it.
Yeah.
Like there are really good games for the phone for mobile only. There's one that I started playing. It was free, and then you add. I've actually bought a couple things for it. It's called Polytopia. It's
Never heard of it.
Well,
Okay.
it's a strategy type game. It's really silly and it's very, I don't know, it's very light, a very light strategy game. And anyways, I downloaded it, and I've actually, because you start off with 6 or 8 tribes, and they have different attributes or whatever each tribe does. And so you finish the game, and each game lasts like 30 turns, so you can do it in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I played through the ones. I'm like, hey, I like it. So I bought a couple of the extra tribes. So there is a place. There's a type of game that is a mobile game, but an action game is not it.
I can definitely agree with that. Even playing Final Fantasy, I was longing for a control pad just to move my character around and to move through the menu. I mean, eventually I kind of adjusted and I got used to it, but after I finished that, I busted open my Game Boy Advance SP, which has a tangible control pad. I was like, oh, this is so much better. And yeah, I will. I think what I'm trying to get at is when it comes to portable gaming, I prefer a control pad and buttons to a touchscreen any day.
I agree with you. I'm 100% behind that.
Charles, do you play games on your phone too, or
I just play Candy Crush.
There's nothing wrong with
Candy
that.
Crack?
I'm just on the train. That's all I play. Just.
I tell you what, try out Toon Blast. Toon Blast is a lot of fun. It's the same type of game.
Okay.
And then like Plants vs. Zombies was fun. Did either one of y'all ever play that? It was really big.
Yeah,
10 years ago.
Definitely.
I
that
loved
was
it.
Cute little game too. It was just...
I downloaded it not too long ago and played through it again. I was looking at my games on my phone right now, and it's on there right now. I was trying to think of like in the history of the iPhones and the iPads and stuff. What other did y'all ever get on the Angry Birds?
I played that for a bit.
Yeah, I did. I played a little bit of it. I didn't care for it too much. Like
really?
I like the sound effects. That was like my favorite part of it. Like when you launch the birds and like they made those sounds. I thought that was funny, but I'm bad at physics.
Right. Okay. Well,
maybe that was
just
it.
Not your cup of tea. I really liked it. And I like I said, I was looking at my games on my phone right now, and I have Angry Birds 2 on my phone right now. It's fun. It was free. So yeah, I gave it a go. What about, did y'all ever play, there's one called Where's the Water?
I have not played that.
It was like a Disney game. I don't know who the character is. A crocodile is the character in it. I don't know. It was probably from like, if you get it, Where's the Water? Download that. It's free and it's fun.
Where's the water? Okay.
Yeah, you gotta try to get the water or fill up the bathtub is pretty much what you're doing, and you got to get it. It's a puzzle type game. Like a mobile game should be.
Yeah, I'm noticing a trend with a lot of these mobile games, like that are phone only. They're great for 5 minutes. You have a 5-minute break. Let's do this. You're waiting in line at Chipotle, or maybe that's just me, and I'll play this. Or you're like Charles, you're a commuter and you're on the L. You have time to play a little bit of that. You really don't have. They're not really meant for getting deep into like a good 40-hour campaign.
Yeah, I don't think that's. Maybe one day it will happen. Maybe there'll be a big game for your phone that people you can really get into. But there is a type of game and that small nugget of gameplay that little piece at a time, I think is what they're built for, and I think it works the best.
I agree.
I'm
gonna look at my file for Final Fantasy V though, because I'm curious. But keep talking. I'm gonna see how many hours I logged into this.
There's just announced a Aliens game for like the movie franchise of Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very Five Nights at Freddy's for grown-ups is what it looked like to me. You had to manage your power and your
like a light or something.
Well, no, like the space station power, and you had to manage, look at different monitors to see where the aliens were and try to keep them at bay. And you only had so much. I didn't play Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I never hopped on
kid,
that bandwagon. So
Isaac loved it. He played it a lot. He bought the stuffed animals. He was really into it, but I never did. I kind of got the idea that you're trying to, the whatever at the mechanics or the
animatronics.
There we go. In a Chuck E. Cheese, we're trying to kill you. That's about all. It was like, yeah, Chuck E. Cheese from hell. And if you've ever been to Chuck E. Cheese, that might be hell.
Yeah, I did.
This is a big franchise. It's Aliens is a huge. Well, there's another one that Five Nights at Freddy's was it just mobile or was it? It was on like Steam and stuff.
I think it was on Steam as well. Yeah, now it's
okay, but of course Isaac played it on. He played it on his iPod, but this one's a mobile only game. This Aliens game, and it's a big release, which is kind of weird. It was announced by whoever does the Aliens games, and it's a company that you've heard of, and I can't remember which one it is. But they're like, yeah, we're going to do an Aliens game. It's the next chapter in the Aliens, whatever. Well, all right. But then boom, for mobile. So I don't know how I feel about that, but
Well, if it's free, you might give it a.
That's exactly it. If it's free, I'll play it.
Yeah. Now, Charles, as a Game Gear collector, do you bring your Game Gear with you when you commute, or are you just phone only? Because
sometimes if I really want to play something, I'll bring it. They got to pick which game I want to play.
You got to pick how many batteries you're going to take.
Yeah.
Well, what I want, for one question is, or it's more of a thought. Like, I wonder what it'd be like to, be out and about on a bus or on a train, and then you see someone bust out a Game Gear in the year 2019. I think that'd be pretty entertaining. Well, I would love it.
You just sitting like, is this really happening? What year is this?
Yeah.
Break out this guy.
That one's awesome. I love that one. He showed, for those listening, audio only, he flashed a red Game Gear, and it was gorgeous. So.
The Magic Knight Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
go ahead.
The red game to go with it.
I got the game too.
Yeah.
So Charles, what is it about mobile gaming actually, let me take a step backwards. What inspired this idea for tonight? Was it just your Switch purchase, or was there something greater?
Switch purchase, and I, starting to buy more Game Gear stuff again after a break. So, yeah, just in the past, I ended up getting another 15 games just recently.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I like Game Boy Advance and all that stuff, but I think when it comes to me, my personal favorite portable device,
Game.com.
Yes. No, I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna give it to the PSP. I still think that's my favorite one of all time.
Your favorite system of all, or favorite handheld of all time is a PSP.
Yeah, I haven't played mine in a good 6-7 months, but looking at the body of work that it has and hours spent, I think I spent most time on the PSP. With in second place, I have the Game Boy Advance SP and the Vita tied for second, of course, but yeah, I would say the PSP. That's strange now that I think about it.
That is that's an odd. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah,
Charles, is the Game Gear your number one of all time? It's okay. You can cheat on it. It's fine. It doesn't.
Maybe the game. I've always liked the Game Boy. So.
The old school cinder block.
This guy.
Ooh,
that's a Game Boy Pocket.
Is it a pocket or okay?
So. Yeah. So and I got the original one right here, the big beast right here.
Yeah,
the cinder block.
I gotta glue this back on. It's all just falling apart.
So there was Game Boy, and then came Game Boy Pocket, or was it Game Boy Mini?
Game Boy Pocket.
Game Boy Pocket came next, and then the Game Boy Color. Then Game Boy Micro. No, the Micro.
Game Boy Advance.
And then Game Boy Advance SP, and then the Game Boy Micro.
Yeah.
What's a Micro again?
It's a smaller Game Boy Advance.
Wow.
That's tiny.
It's probably the size of, I don't know how big your phone is, but it's the size of an iPhone, maybe.
Okay. Gotcha. What about you, Turf? What would be your favorite portable
Man,
one.
I'll tell you what, the one that I've played the most would be the OG Game Boy. That's the one, just my center block Game Boy went with me everywhere for when it was new, and I've played a lot of it. But I think as time has gone on, the one that has the most good games and the most games that interest me is the old Game Boy Advance.
I love that system.
I like the old SP, the old
Ooh, shiny
yeah,
red.
shiny
Ooh, I
red.
love that.
This is the one that I actually play. I've got one of the Nintendo ones, the NES ones somewhere, but
Oh yeah, I've seen those before. Those are neat.
they're very neat. I've got one of those stuck somewhere. It's really cool, but the red one's the one that I let the boy play with and that I play with. I've had several of these things, and there's several of them around here, different colors. But I like it. I have a bunch of really good games for it, a bunch of games that I thoroughly enjoy. There's a whole the NES Classic series that's a blast, that is really cool to on the go. There was like the Metroid Zero mission that I really enjoyed.
Oh, I heard that was good.
Yeah,
Wait, and there's another one, Fusion. Is
yeah,
that
Metroid Fusion is another one.
I've got that game, but I don't got a Game Boy Advance to play it in.
it?
And then there's a couple games that are in the Super Nintendo style that never got a Super Nintendo release. And I've told y'all this before, is one of my favorite Super Nintendo games is a game called Mickey's Magical Quest. It's Disney's Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse.
I don't remember you telling us this.
Yeah,
Or maybe you told
Mickey
Charles
Mouse,
like
Mickey Mouse gets a turban and he shoots magic. Anyways, it's a kind of it's a kid's game, but it's really fun. It's really well done. It was made by Capcom back in the day. Anyways, there was Magical Quest 2 and 3 on the Game Boy Advance that I don't have 3, but 2 is a lot of fun, and I do want to get 3 one of these days. And let's say there was like those cool the Castlevania games for the Game Boy Advance were really good.
love those. Yeah, those are great.
Of course, they had the Zelda Four Swords Adventure, which had that was a good one. Had the Link to the Past on it. Kirby's Return to Dreamland was on there.
And it had Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Magical Mirror. I should know that I'm a Kirby fan. There's a mirror in the title. That one actually wasn't very good though. It was like a Metroidvania.
That Mario versus Donkey Kong Rise of the Minis or whatever. Let's see, March of the Minis. No, it's just called Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Do you like a list?
I'm looking at my games right here.
Oh, wow.
I've got all my Game Boy Advance games in these like jewelry trays, which was a cool idea I had years ago. And anyways,
they're nice.
They fit perfectly. I don't know. I guess I probably got that from somebody that was a seller, like a Retropalooza or something, be my guess. And so I bought those. So I'm just kind of looking at my Game Boy Advance games, and I've got them all in these, and it looks cool, but I don't have room to display them. I should just put them in a box.
I have to find a way to store my Game Gear games.
Oh, Gunstar Heroes. That's a good one.
Right here. This one, boom. Got it for the Game Gear.
Gunstar Heroes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. This is one of my favorite games for the Game Gear. Didn't get a U.S. release on the Game Gear. Japan.
What is Gunstar Heroes? Is that the one where you're shooting like the Wild West style?
It's a run and gun. No, that you're thinking of what was that game called? It's not Gunstar Heroes. It's dadgummit. I know what you're like shooting the robots, but it's a Western. It's like a third person over the shoulder shooting.
No, you're going. It's a side scrolling.
Oh, Sunset Riders is what
Sunset. That's the one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, Gunstar Heroes is a futuristic kind of. The little guys are kind of like chibi looking almost. They're short, fat Japanese looking things, and there's lots of bullets flying, and you've got lots of cool guns. It's like a
Metal Slug type of deal.
Kind of, except more cartoony.
Okay. Oh wow.
It's Metal Slug is like Rambo, like a caricature of Rambo. Mm-hmm. This is like got a little futuristic twist on it, and the guy's head's bigger.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
So, anyways, and then I'm looking at my Game Boy Advance game still. Masters of the Universe. This game sucks, but it was like a cool He-Man game, and I like He-Man.
What I like about the Game Boy Advance cartridges and Game Gear ones, and even like Game Boy Color and Game Boy ones, like when you bought the game new, you got the box, the manual, that whole thing. But it came with a little like clamshell plastic protective case. Yeah, Charles has one right now. I thought that was a really good idea.
Fatal Fury Special.
How did you, Philip? How do you feel about the Mana game? What is it?
Sword of Mana.
Sword of Mana. How do you feel about that?
It's aight. A lot of people hate it. I don't get the hate for it. It's kind of goofy. It's nothing like what I thought it would be because a big Secret of Mana fan. But for what it was a good little 10-hour RPG.
Okay,
I wasn't mad at it.
How do you feel about Golden Sun?
It's no. It's just my problem with Golden Sun is like when it was released, it was on a system that was kind of starved for role-playing games.
Right.
So I played it, and this is when after I played it, like I thought, wait, that was it? Like this is what I was so excited about because it just ended so abruptly, and by that time I was already like heavily into the genre, and then when you look at it retrospectively, it's just very, very, very generic and bland. It doesn't do anything that's exciting at all. And it's not a bad game. It's just like the most 5 out of 10 game that there ever was, if that makes sense at all.
Just vanilla, huh?
It's so vanilla. It's yeah. That's a good way to look at it. So it's for that reason that I haven't played the second one, Lost Age.
Okay, I've got both of them, but I played the first Golden Sun. Or we're gonna go down a rabbit hole.
Let's do it.
Or down a rabbit trail, I guess. Whenever I was 21-ish, I guess. Yeah, I was 21. I have a buddy that's in the Air Force, and I went to visit him when he was stationed in Germany.
Cool.
And we drove all over Germany all over Europe in a Dodge Dakota. And if you've ever been to Europe, a Dodge Dakota, which is like the mid-size pickup, is the biggest thing on the road. In a world of smart cars, the Dodge Dakota is king. Anyways, we bought a couple. I think he bought Goku or the Legacy of Goku or whatever, because Dragon Ball Z was on Toonami and all that at the time. He bought that, and I bought Golden Sun, and we played both of those and traveled around Europe. So that's my memory of Golden Sun. And I just played the beginning of it because I was like more into the shitty Legacy of Goku. That's not a good game, but
I've been there. Golden Sun is just so bland,
very vanilla.
Vanilla, and like people love it because I still can't. I think the only reason why is because it was on a system that didn't have any RPGs at the time.
And the whole era, I guess, might have been starved of RPGs. That time, especially handhelds. It was like the
handheld, definitely
ambitious handheld or RPG that ever been done on a handheld. But I guess that would have been PS2 era, right?
2001. It came out November 2001. So yeah, sounds about right.
So yeah, it would have been.
So the PlayStation 1 was already starting to fade away, but
it had a ton of RPGs on it. So maybe I'm just talking on a rear when I say the whole era was, but definitely handhelds. That was the biggest RPG on a handheld, I think, up to that time.
Yeah, now later the Game Boy Advance got some great ones. Breath of Fire 2, then Final Fantasy 4 through 6, and then like rehashes of the first 2 Final Fantasy. Those are great. And then some other things. You mentioned the Castlevania ones. They had some role playing in them, but yeah. What you got there, Charles?
Shining Force.
Oh, great one. Great choice.
Shining Force, Sword of Haya. And I just got this one today, the Japanese one.
Same Shining Force? You got the same?
Yeah. Oh, different one.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Yeah, there's actually a Shining Force remake for the Game Boy Advance called Resurrection of the Dark Dragon. I played that. That was a great game. So
Shining Soul is what I was thinking of. I got
Shining Soul. Okay, yeah. That's the action one, right?
I don't have any idea. I've never played it. I bought it in this cool little tray.
So you should like bring that to the next convention and be like, check out my wares. It looks like you're about to bust out some diamonds and pearls, but nope, Game Boy Advance games.
It looks like I would have jewels in this if you look at it from the side, but it's just gems.
I see what you did there. Oh man.
What do you? Okay, we've talked about like our favorite handhelds. What do you think is maybe an overlooked handheld? Maybe something that doesn't get the love it deserves.
Oh man.
The
PlayStation Vita. Sony just buried that thing.
Maybe there's a Turbo Express.
The who?
From TurboGrafx 16, they made a portable. They made the Turbo Express.
But it was a TurboGrafx 16.
It was a TurboGrafx 16 that was portable.
The Hue cards.
Yeah.
See, I had no idea this was a thing. See, this is why I love this podcast. I learned so much.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
The Turbo Express.
Turbo Express. All right.
Or the Atari Lynx. I don't know. It's
that one I heard of.
That one doesn't. I always forget about that one.
Everybody else did too. Hey.
Heyo.
But it was a 16-bit portable.
Which is cool, but
back in 1989?
Was it that early?
Yeah. I was looking it up. Looking up this today. I think a 16-bit handheld.
94.
1989 it came out.
Holy corral!
Wow.
Yeah, so it's 16 with a 16-bit and took 6 AA batteries and
Jesus, oh man.
I like the TurboGrafx 16.
That's the thing about why I'm so glad portable gaming has evolved so much over the years. Batteries were just such a pain, weren't they?
They really were.
Not with the Game Boy.
Game Boy, which one? The original? The OG?
The OG, yeah.
That was OG. 4. That required 4 of them, though. That was a lot.
The 4
it'll last you a while. You're lucky to get 3 to 4 hours off of a Game Gear with 6 AA's.
6 AA's, my God, that's insane. Yeah, how long would the Game Boy usually last? And on fresh batteries, all new, how long would it usually go?
I have no idea.
Game Gear? On the Game Boy, probably at least...
Like 5 hours?
10 or so? I don't know.
Oh, geez. Wow. Huh.
I can't remember that far back.
Well, what about you, Turf? What's something that you think is overlooked on a portable?
I do. Would you know? I've got an answer to this question. I'm trying to turn it off right now because I started fooling around with it and it came on. The Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Oh, neat. No, you had one of those?
Yeah, I've had one for a long time and I've got some cool games for it too. I turned it on. Pac-Man started playing. If y'all just heard it. This is a cool little system. It's made by SNK. Yeah, it's got some. It doesn't have many games. It's only got like Virtual Boy numbers of games. I think there's maybe like 17.
Wow.
It's a system that is very achievable to get a full set for, which I probably should do just to do it.
Yeah.
And this
you already have one. Why not go for a second one?
Well, no, I've got a few. I've got, let's see what here. We've got Samurai Showdown 2.
Oh,
got
neat.
Neo
Love that game.
Masters. I've got Pocket Tennis Color. I've got Bust a Move Pocket, which Bust a Move is an underrated game. It's the same.
Is it the puzzle one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's like the one where you shoot the little bubbles.
The bubbles, yeah.
Balloons or whatever. And then Pac-Man. And then I've got another game that is an oddity. All right, this little Jesse it's a cool little system. The downfall of it is, I mean, it's a cool system. It's got good graphics and good colors. It's just not backlit. If the thing had been backlit, I think it might have been probably not a competitor to the Game Boy Advance because nothing is. It came out in like 99.
Oh.
It was like the Neo Geo Pocket Color and the Wonder Swan are going to take down the Game Boy Advance. Not happening. It's just not happening. So, but it wasn't backlit, and it would have helped it if it was. But it had some cool connectivity with the Dreamcast. There is a cord.
Wait, really?
There's a cord that goes from this thing to a Sega Dreamcast, and you can play Sonic Pocket Adventure. And I don't remember exactly what it does, but it interacts with Sonic Adventure, I believe.
That is the coolest thing, man.
So I had to get that one for it. You know, you had to have Sonic Pocket, you know, something, just a weird little oddity in the history of games. But yeah, this little thing in a world where Nintendo was doing cool stuff, like they had their connectivity with their the Game Boy Advance and the GameCube, which was awesome. That like I didn't play Animal Crossing, but I know you could go to another island on Animal Crossing if you had the Game Boy Advance. That's the only way you could get pineapples, I think.
That fucking game, I swear, is just so I pay.
Yeah, but it's this thing with two different companies came together and they said, "Hey, let's try this and see what happens." And it's cool little connectivity with it. I think it only worked with one game, but it was cool.
So it's a Neo Geo Color.
Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Neo Geo Pocket Color. There, you know what? I think I remember seeing a commercial on TV for that. Is Battle Arena Toshinden one of the games?
I believe so. I believe it is.
That's awesome.
There's a Metal Slug first mission and second mission for it, and I want both of those, and they're like slamming $15 each. So, or they were last time I looked for them.
Yeah.
There's no telling what they are now. I say that, and they're like be $1 million. But
that's how I was with, like, speaking of portables, the Nintendo DS. There were a couple of games I wanted for it, and I thought, oh, these will be cheap. It's the Nintendo DS. Yeah, no, they're like 70, 80. I'm like, when did this happen?
What happened?
Why
did that happen? Why are people playing? I mean, I get that you can play it on a 3DS, and 3DSs have gone down in price, so like you can get DS games. And, you still got that action going. But where did some of these have just gone just right through the roof, and I don't know why.
I know the games don't even look that good. The ones that I originally wanted.
Oh, they look like utter balls. I mean, they're terrible. DS games look.
If they're 3D, they look like crap.
Yeah, if it's a 2D one, it's groovy. Everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone should probably not ever check it out because I want the price of it to go down. But Contra 4 is on the DS. It's got Contra and Super C on the same cartridge, and it's excellent. Contra 4 is, I've got it. I don't care if the price goes up or not. It's excellent.
It sucks. Don't buy it.
I really do think if you're listening to this and you enjoyed Contra and you have a DS, go buy Contra 4. You get to shoot stuff on the top screen while you're still on the bottom screen. You move between the two, which is really cool if you ask me. And like I said, the other two games are on there, and Probotector's on there as well, which is exactly the same game as Contra, but you're a robot. So I don't know. I don't know how I got on that tangent. Oh, the DS.
The DS, which is very popular still, and apparently people are trying to buy the games now for it. So, yeah.
There's GameStop has like used new Nintendo 3DS, the new Nintendo 3DS. That's such a dumbass fucking name.
Yeah, Nintendo needs help with their naming convention.
Yeah, like when they came out with the Wii, I was like, hey, I'm juvenile humor, 12-year-old mentality, like Wii. So then they have, what's it called? The new 3DS?
The new Nintendo 3DS is
Nintendo 3DS. Yeah,
which has got like another button and better 3D thingy viewing. And
lets you play Xenoblade on it.
Yeah.
That little nipple up there on the top right. It's got a little nipple.
They're like $99 now for a used one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not that bad, actually.
I may get one.
My 3DS it's still functioning, but I mean, I can't say no to a good deal.
Yeah. But
well, Charles, I know that we were talking about how ugly the the DS 3D graphics look. I haven't played a Game Gear in years. No, I'm going to tell you right now. How do the games still look? They still look fine.
They look as you expect them to look. Some are good, some are not. Revenge of Drancon is good, which is Wonder Boy. That one looks okay.
They're all 2D styled, right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
The Game Gear is a handheld master system. And I'm not saying that it is practically a master system. I'm saying it is a handheld Sega Master System. There's an adapter that you can adapt Sega Master System games to play on a Game Gear. So I mean, it's an 8-bit style system.
And Sega like making adapters to play things on their systems.
They're the king of adapters.
How you mean? Like,
well, they had the adapter to play the Game Gear or game. Master System games on your Game Gear. They had the power base converter to play Master System games on your Genesis. They had the 32X to play games on your
yeah.
The 32, the CD,
attachment.
They had attachment to attach the Game Gear to the Master System. That you hooked that up to the Genesis, which hooks up to the Saturn, which hooks up to the Dreamcast.
I did not know that about the Game Gear. I'll tell you all right now. I've played the Game Gear maybe 7 or 8 times in my life, and that was when it was still like the current, when the Game Gear was a current gen system. So I cannot remember much about it at all. The only thing I remember about a Game Gear was that in Mortal Kombat 2, the blood code for the Game Gear version was 212 down up. I'm not sure how I remember that, but I do.
Because you played it on the bus.
I played it on the school bus, and sadly, I didn't get to play it for long because my stop was like the second one, so I had to give it back to my friend when it was time for me to go.
And that's okay, man. That's the Dreamcast, the Game Gear. If it's your thing, cool, it's your thing. But it was
Game Boy.
The problem with it, I was Game Boy. There were some good games on the Game Gear. I think, in my opinion, there was a handful, like Ninja Gaiden on it is really good. Which I don't know. I can't remember. Is it the same? It's not the same as the Master System one, is it?
Charles, you'd be the one to answer that one.
I kind of fortunate.
I don't remember.
Anyways, I remember it being good, and I remember Mortal Kombat not being good because it was too small. The screen was like shrunk down, and you only had 2 buttons, so that made things difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Sonic sucks on it because the screen's too small and you're going too fast.
That's why I don't like Sonic games. Just go too damn fast and expect to collect shit. But that's another story. So when the Game Boy Color was announced, like, I think all of us Game Boy fans are like, oh, finally, suck it, Game Gear, we have color now too. And the system was okay, but I think Nintendo hit their stride with Game Boy Advance. That's when they said, okay, we know what we're doing. Not saying the original Game Boy was bad, because it was great. I have a lot of hours, a lot of batteries clocked with that thing. But Game Boy Advance was really where they, said, hey, we're here in this portable market and we are going to take it over. My opinion.
Anyway. I think, and I don't think they've ever looked. Never had anybody challenge them since then, have they?
Well, Sony tried with the PSP and Vita, and we saw how those turned out.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah, it's a shame too, because I like those both. I mean, it's hard for me to find a portable console that I actually dislike. I mean, Engage, but I never played one. I just don't like it because it's the cool thing not to like. I just want to be popular.
I just want to be one of the cool kids and not like it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. There's not any that I just really dislike. Other than, no, there's not any. They're all fine. They all have their own thing. If you can like the spinach green OG Game Boy cinder block, you can like anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Charles, when did this Game Gear itch hit you anyway? Because it seems it's a random system to collect for.
I have no idea. I just thought of it one day and said, "Oh, I'm gonna get Game Gear games."
Well,
so because there's not too many and they're not that expensive, or most of them. Now I'm doing some research. Some of these European games are not cheap.
Do you know if the Game Gear was big in like Europe, like other Europe and Brazil? The Master System was bigger than the NES. The Mega Drive was bigger than the Super Nintendo.
I think it was probably about the same. Because in Europe and Brazil, they've got some games that we didn't.
Right, Brazil got a ton of games that we didn't.
Yeah, like they got Mortal Kombat 3.
Oh.
I'm looking at this label. The label looks a little dodgy on this thing.
Brazil supported the Master System up until like 98 or something crazy. Like you could go in a store in Brazil and buy a Sega Master System until deep into the 90s.
That's really cool. I did not know that. I didn't know there was a big market in Brazil for gaming in general. This is probably my ignorance. I thought it was nothing but rainforest and the Olympics one year. So, yeah, knowledge. I learned a lot. Like I said, I love this podcast because I learned so much from it.
Yeah.
So.
It's maybe
I mean, these systems are cool and all, but the system is just a hunk of computer without a game. What are some of y'all's favorite? Did you see that? How that segue worked? That sounded like I was a professional.
We are professionals.
Yeah, professional. Or like it was scripted. And that was right off the dome. What are some of the games that y'all really like? Some of the cool portable games that only work portable. I mean, I don't want the NES classic versions of these games to take on the go. What are some that were made for portables?
Made for portables. Oh man.
Made for portables.
Charles, you got one?
Let's see what I got here.
Well, while you're sniffing, go ahead. Up. Go ahead.
Kirby's Dream Land on the
Oh
Game Boy is
man,
pretty fun.
classic.
Yeah, it is. The game it's easy, but it's a blast. So it's fun to play over and over.
If you want a challenge, play it on hard mode.
Is it
brutal?
Is it hard?
Yes, and this is coming from someone who loves Kirby and thinks Kirby is pretty easy. So yeah, it's damn hard.
Like a drum date. Let me tell you, that dude is easy.
Yeah, but yeah, Kirby's good, and Kirby's Dream Land 2. I'm gonna flip the scripts a bit. Kirby's Pinball, fun little pinball game. Okay. Yeah,
not mad at that. Not mad at that.
And you guys know that game series, Breakout, right? You know, you had the little, you hit the ball on the what are those called? The blocks.
Right.
Well, Kirby's part of that world now too. Kirby's Block Ball. That's a fun one as well.
I have that.
Ooh, dude, you should play it.
So here's a game that I've talked about it when we talk about Famicom stuff. Is Kid Dracula, but it never got a release here except for on the Game Boy. We got Kid Dracula.
Oh, we did get a Game Boy.
We got a Game Boy version of Kid Dracula. The only way it was. It's got nice big sprites, and it's a what a 4-bit system. Anyways, it's still fun even though it's small.
I don't know that they had I thought that was Japan only, and I thought you were about to show us a Japanese copy of it. That is cool.
Full version. I mean, this is like Diet Dracula.
Oh,
That's fine.
Famicom version is better. It's more fun. But this is what we got, and it's a fantastic Game Boy game. It's probably one of my more expensive Game Boy games that I have. That's why I wanted to pull it out and show you. Another that is this is Game Boy only, like OG Game Boy Cinder Block, was Gargoyle's Quest 2. No, Gargoyles.
No, is that like the one where like the Disney show Gargoyles, or
this was like Firebrand.
Okay.
The guys at Capcom game. Demon's Crest came out of this same series.
Oh yeah.
There's a Gargoyles Quest 2 on the NES that's a moderately expensive game, but it's really fun. So yeah, the first Gargoyles Quest was made for, as far as I know, there may be a Famicom game that I don't know about, but the Game Boy was the first place to play it.
Nice choices.
It wasn't a port of anything else. It got to start there.
I'll have to shout out again too. Oh, go ahead, Charles. What was that?
Another good one, Revenge of Drancon, which is
Drancon,
which is Wonder Boy.
Oh, okay.
Neat.
That's a fun game.
Sega owned Wonder Boy.
Did they?
Thought so. It's on the Master System. I thought it was a Sega game.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I guess when they put on the Game Gear, they called it Revenge of Drancon.
That's weird because Adventure Island on the NES.
Yeah,
they're the same game as Wonder Boy.
If it's like Wonder Boy. Who wants to play a game called Wonder Boy: Revenge of Drancon?
More metal.
They know how to appeal to us Americans, don't they?
Deep Duck Trouble.
Oh, so a DuckTales game, or what is that, Donald?
It's Donald Duck going on an adventure, doing stuff. I haven't really jumped into it too much, but it's fun. I've got so many Game Gear games. I just gotta sit down and play all of them at some point.
On TV.
There probably is an adapter somewhere that goes onto the Genesis.
Probably.
Bless you. Did someone say there was probably you, Charles? So there is indeed a Magic Knight Rare Earth game for the Game Gear.
Yeah.
And you played it? How is it?
It's in Japanese.
Oh, so it's an RPG.
Yeah, there's
Oh, okay.
There are actually, I gotta think about. There's one. There's two.
There's two of them.
Yep.
That's so nice. Oh man.
So yeah, this is. Even got the manual for one of them.
Sweet. Oh man, that's so cool.
So there you go. If you could all read that.
You know what? Bring it to Louisville. I'll sit down and translate sometime, or try to, anyways. And did I mention for the game, like some of my favorites, the Castlevanias? Did I mention those yet?
Yeah,
sure.
My favorites. Yeah, love those. Oh, so good. I think that was actually the catalyst. Circle of the Moon. That was a catalyst that brought me to buy a Game Boy Advanced. Because as soon as I saw there was a new Castlevania game, and this was, after I was fresh off of Symphony of the Night, I was like, yes, I'm all in. I'm buying the Game Boy Advance, and yeah, glad I did. So, yeah.
Huh, that's I'm searching the internet right now. There's like RBG mods for Game Gear.
Okay.
Looky here. Here it is. The what's this thing called? Master System Games in HD. Retron made a Master System converter. What is it called?
Huh, you don't say.
Yeah, they made something you could plug into. I guess it goes in your Genesis. I don't want to turn the video on. It's a video that I found. But anyways, so there is a way.
Interesting. And when I was learning about all that, Charles, you kind of made me do some research myself. I just typed in Magic Knight Rare Earth Game Gear. Apparently, there is a translation patch out there somewhere.
Huh.
So maybe you can enjoy it in English somehow.
Somehow, or I just really get back to my Japanese studies.
Or that too. Yeah.
Hajimemashite, natano name wa nan desu ka?
You said that really fast, and my listening is terrible. So you said nice to meet you and something else.
What is your name?
Okay. Yeah. Well, my friends, we are getting close to the end. Do we have any final closing thoughts about mobile and portable gaming, other than it's awesome?
The Switch did it better than everybody.
Yeah. What about these guys? Come on.
What?
Tiger handheld.
Yeah.
Forgot all about those.
Boom.
Charles, you find the coolest stuff.
I just got a lot of crap.
Yeah. Well, what we're going to do next is the sad part of the show where we have to say our goodbyes. So I'm going to hand the floor over to Jason real quick, and I'll let you take it away.
Well, all right. If you've enjoyed this episode of Our Parents' Basement, you can look right over there, and there's more. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see my finger pointing right over there. And if you're not listening to this on YouTube, if you're if you're listening to it on your mobile device, you can download us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, Tuned In, and probably something else that I left out. So be sure to check those out. Check us out anywhere you can download those mobile podcast things and put it on your mobile device.
Yes.
If you want to interact with us, you can hit us up on Twitter at OPB Podcast. That's where a lot of people like to. Some people like to hit us up on Facebook. It's facebook.com/OPB Podcast. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. We'll let you know when we're going to go live. We're on Instagram too, but we put pictures about twice a year on there. So we love hearing from y'all. We love that y'all listen. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, gentlemen, do y'all have anything else?
I think that's about
I
all
ain't
I
got
got.
nothing else. I'm talking about this game, Zelda Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening is awesome. Good way to end the show. Link's Awakening is awesome.
Yes.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.